hard to believe that this is the first video that I ever made solely dedicated to Cole Anthony, someone who's been a magician for almost 4 seasons now, someone who stands out on the court with its energetic play and off of it with its electric personality. It's funny because my first ever video, which was based on the Magic head coaching search from like June 2021, featured Cole in the thumbnail. He was beloved as a rookie. Like, we finally found someone who genuinely loved being in Orlando and wasn't afraid to show it. Every now and then he reminded the NBA universe that there's still a team down in Orlando, with him going viral with his post-game interviews and game-winning celebrations. We all loved him and looked past his shortcomings, but then he kind of fell down in favor after we got a shiny new toy in Jalen Suggs. Cole then failed to improve on his rookie campaign and, even worse, kind of developed some bad habits on the court that frustrated a lot of Magic fans. After an inefficient sophomore season and a so-so start to his 3rd season, I thought Cole's career was headed towards the typical journeyman undersized chucker path. You know, a player who could get you buckets on a team in need of an offensive jolt, but simply can't stay on the court for too long because of defensive shortcomings. Those type of players usually bounce around the league for a while before completely fizzling out. But thankfully, Cole Anthony says screw all that. That's not how I envisioned my career panning out. In order to not go down that path, Cole had to learn how to become a winning player. And for that to happen, the 22-year-old had to throw his ego out the door and accept a lesser role. It must have been tough for him, especially after having led his team in field goal attempts in his 2nd season. He only started 4 games last season after starting 65 the season before. At the start of last season's training camp, Cole accepted his team's 6-man role and decided to thrive in it instead of sulking, and should be commended for that. It's a sign of growth and maturity. He held himself accountable, accepted he had flaws in his game and needed to improve. It all led to his breakout season last year. He shut a lot of his doubters up, including myself, I have to admit. Unfortunately, the perception of Cole Anthony outside the Magic fan base is still negative. I've listened to countless content from other fan bases, you know, when I'm trying to get a grasp of what the trade value of certain Magic players are, and the general consensus is still that of Cole being a negative player, a chucker, but that's far from the truth. It may come as a surprise to many, but Cole is now a winning player, or at least someone who can play major minutes on a contending team off the bench, far from the current perception of Cole in the eyes of casuals. And in this video, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to break down certain areas of Cole's game that I think he's worked on that's made him one of the most impactful bench players, and quite frankly, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so like I said earlier, Cole quietly had a breakout season last year and more than made his case for being part of the Magic core moving forward. He did that by adding to his ever-expanding offensive bag, improving his defense, shot selection, off-ball scoring, playmaking, and more important than all, improving his mentality. He's accepted the 6-man role because it suits his game perfectly, and it's also what he needs to do in order for his team to take the next step. Anthony's transition from the starting role to the bench has resulted in the Magic being a much more balanced team. Last season, the team went 28-32 with Cole in the lineup. Cole posted the 2nd best net rating on the team amongst players who played a minimum of 1,000 minutes. In addition, he averaged more minutes in games in which the Magic won compared to the games that they lost. Point blank, Cole impacted winning in a good way, and it's why his career is taking an unexpected turn for the better. Coach Jamal Mosley has given him the freedom to just be himself and look for his own shot within the team's offensive concept and simply feast on the opposing team's 2nd unit, and he did just that by averaging 14, 5, and 4 off the bench on 45, 36, and 90 shooting splits. Cole Anthony is a natural bucket getter. Instead of discouraging him from doing what got him to the NBA, the Magic instead allowed him to be the first option in lineups without Franz and or Paulo. Having a clearly defined role led to an immense improvement in Cole's overall scoring efficiency. In his first 2 seasons, he shot 39% from the field, 33% from downtown, with a true shooting percentage of just 46. This past season, however, he connected on a career best 45% from the field, 36% from 3, 57% true shooting, and an effective field goal percentage of 51.6. Digging deeper into his scoring, he was an 84th percentile scorer off pick and roll actions this past season, a steep improvement from his 2nd season when he was in the 42nd percentile at a 0.81 points per possession rate. Cole's hard work has clearly paid off. He's shown versatility as a movement shooter and improved as an off-ball player. His craftiness, quickness, and good feel for opening up space has made him tough to guard despite his small stature. The New York City native still prefers to go ISO than pass, but the difference last season was that he improved his shot selection. He was looking to take more efficient shots. For instance, he's pretty much removed pull-up threes from his shot diet, attempting less than 1 pull-up 3 per game. The season before, he shot an awful 28% on 2.5 attempts. Cole finally understands what a good shot versus a bad one is for his team. He's not making pre-decisions without reading the defense anymore. The joke amongst Magic fans early on in his career was that you knew within seconds what Cole Anthony was going to do with the ball in his hands, and it was usually an off-balance ISO shot. He's not attacking set pick and roll defense without any motive. Rookie and sophomore Cole would just put the blinders on and attack, resulting in a turnover, jump pass, or a crazy shot attempt at the rim. And he's not shooting step back threes from near the logo anymore. He cut his long range 3-point attempts by nearly half, resulting in an increase in his shooting percentages. Anthony attempted 300 shots from between 25 to 34 feet in the 2021-2022 season to just 165 in 2022-2023. In fact, he only attempted 2 shots from beyond 30 feet this past season. He's not trying to be logo Dame anymore, and again, it's back to him being aware of his limits now. Instead of pulling up from 3, Cole has transitioned into mastering the mid-range pull-up game, shooting 47% on middies when pulling up, a full 10% improvement from his second season on the same volume. Becoming more crafty has allowed him to get to his spots on the floor easier, and like Markelle, the mid-range is his kill spot now, especially both elbow areas. He's improved to the point where I'll get surprised whenever he misses from the left or right elbow spots. In addition, Cole doesn't drive head-on straight to the cup, putting up a wild shot against taller defenders. He's found a counter by stopping at a dime in space and shooting uncontested mid-range shots, up and unders, or floaters. Cole shot 51% on 60 floaters last season, an improvement from 43% on 74 attempts in 2022. A clear sign of maturity in his game is that he's a much more patient player. In the past, teams try to force him to his left, ice him in one corner, which usually resulted in a turnover, but now he's improved at navigating in tight spaces through screens calmly, looking for openings. He'll patiently search for angles to take advantage of defenders being caught off guard, again very much like Markelle. He'll also initiate contact by ever so slightly bumping into a defender to create space or to draw a foul. His footwork has improved. He has enough counter moves now if teams force him to pick up his dribble. Now, in order to fit in with Paolo, Franz, and Markelle, Cole had to improve as an off-ball player and shooter. He even acknowledged this during media day heading into last season. And while his 3-point shooting percentage is marginally improved, 36% from downtown, 35% off the catch, and spotting up, his off-ball scoring, however, drastically improved. He was one of the best scorers off cuts in the NBA, ranking in the 98th percentile, 1.80 points per possession. He had less on-ball reps this past season, but he made his impact off of it by doing the little things off the ball, like this play right here, relocating smartly into space, getting the defense moving to open up room for his teammate to make a play. He was tasked not only to score efficiently, but to create plays for others, especially in bench lineups lacking shot creators. Lineups featuring Bol, Caleb, Kevon Harris, Goga Bitadze, Mo Wagner, etc., and with only one of Paolo or Franz. And speaking of Mo Wagner, Cole has established a good two-man pick-and-roll partnership with the big German in particular, and of course his chemistry with Jalen Suggs has always been good. Cole is capable of running a set offense in the half court now, something he struggled with in years past. His playmaking stats might not pop out, but you can tell he's improved in that area. Passing out of driving kicks and on the fast break were always part of his game, but in order to have a positive impact on the court, he had to improve in his pick and roll playmaking, and he did. For example, threading the needle perfectly to slips off of screens. He's decreased his tunnel vision tendencies of the past. His overall court vision has improved, as seen in his cross-court skip pass to Miami's prize offseason signing RJ Hampton. Rounding off on Cole's offensive growth, a minor change in his game that's had an enormous effect is his dribbling. People think handles is just crossovers, in and outs, tweens, but it's more than that. Having good handles in the NBA is being able to gather the ball and go up strong. It's about being able to pick the ball up off the dribble when going left and pulling up smoothly, getting your hands on the ball properly in stride. Little nuances he's worked on that's made a huge difference. And of course, Cole has refined some of his off-the-dribble moves in order to get cleaner shots off, like hezzies, rip-throughs to stutter steps, in and out crossovers, and splitting defenses with hang dribbles to the basket. His handles were much less shaky last season, and it's all due to his work ethic. In addition, he's taking care of the ball now, as he averaged 1 less turnover per game per 36 compared to his first 2 seasons, and his turnover percentage went down 2 percentage points. On defense, Cole improved enough to not be a huge liability anymore. It may come to a surprise, but the Magic had a better defensive rating with him on the floor last season. The thing with Cole is that he has a high motor and it allows him to be a good defender and a pest when defending one-on-one. He presses and defends full court well, but it also makes him gamble for steals far too often and getting beat off the dribble. He toned that down a bit last season. He's not someone who gets targeted and played off the floor anymore, at least not in the regular season. He's always had very quick hands for steals and roams around to disrupt passing lanes for easy transition buckets. Cole is fighting through screens now and doing his best to hang with bigger wings on switches. He's hustling back in transition, and I have to add that he's an amazing post defender for a guard. His weaknesses and strengths on defense are very similar to Russell Westbrook. He's an aggressive defender, sometimes to a fault with an increase in fouls per game last year. But like Russ, he never gives up, especially in transition. as you see him run down the floor for chase down blocks. And his biggest improvement on defense has been his help defense, especially at the rim. He'll be a neutral defender at best going forward. Because of his small stature, he'll always struggle defending pick and rolls, unfortunately, but he can be useful defending in a full court press, post defending on switches against wings, and just being allowed to roam around off the ball, getting deflections and steals. Now, to round off, will Cole Anthony continue to accept being a bench player moving forward? It remains to be seen. I think Cole can be our version of 2021 Jordan Poole, an explosive 18 points per game scorer off the bench when we start contending 2 or 3 years down the line. However, I think Cole might have higher ambitions, and rightfully so, but with the way the Magic team is currently constructed, Cole's role should remain the same for the foreseeable future. Anthony Black wasn't drafted 6th overall to be a bench player, and Markelle still looks to be in the plans with his extension looming. The best backcourt fit next to either one of Markelle or Anthony Black is a good point of attack defender who doesn't need the ball as much and can spot up well like a Jalen Suggs. We're gonna make the playoffs this season, and in order to make some noise in the postseason, your entire starting unit should be switch-proof, similar to the 2019 Raptors, current Nuggets, and Celtics. That's the blueprint Jeff Waldman and Anthony Parker are following, and Suggs fits it better than Cole, plain and simple. I know I just spent a lot of time praising Cole's defensive improvements, but it remains to be seen how he would fare in a playoff setting where he'll be routinely targeted by the likes of Giannis, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, etc. You can argue that Cole is better than Suggs right now, but what Suggs could be when he finally puts it all together could be much more valuable in today's NBA than what Cole could be. That's a dilemma. Cole is heading to free agency, and I think he's looking for a huge payday, and I think he will get a huge bag. But will he be from the Magic? I still think this front office would rather extend Suggs. Now, Cole can throw a wrench into all of their plans by taking another leap and forcing the Magic to extend him. Something like if Suggs' injury woes continue, and if Cole starts shooting threes at a 40% clip on high volume and continues improving his all-around defense. Knowing Cole's motor, work ethic, and love for the game, and an immense belief in his abilities, him taking another leap and claiming his starting spot is not out of the realm. That's the end of this video. I just wanted to make a video entirely about Cole Anthony. I think he deserves one. This could be his last season, who knows, and if it is, I hope it's not, but if it is, I appreciate what he's done for us, for the Magic, and I don't know, man, we'll see what happens. I'm happy he's changed the narrative of his career. Cole, he's gonna win something in his career, whether it's a 6th Man of the Year award, a ring, Teammate of the Year, Most Improved Player, whatever. With his mentality and love for the game, I wouldn't bet against him. Whether it'll be with the Magic though, that's the question. But yeah, I'm just happy he's turned his career around, and I think he's gonna have an even better season in this upcoming season. But yeah, thanks for watching. What do you guys think? Is Cole underrated? I think he's the most underrated Magic, at least. And where do you guys stand on the Suggs versus Cole Anthony debate? Please let me know, and I'll be sure to make a counter video on it. Thanks for watching. If you're new to this channel, then please subscribe if this video brought some value to you. Can't wait for the season to start. Be on the lookout for more videos dropping real soon. Thanks for watching, and go Magic.